Still lifes can offer insight into histories of colonialism, capitalism, and consumerism. A new display at the Barber explores the global mobility behind 4 contrasting still life paintings to reveal their unstilled undercurrents and asks, at what cost? The Nautilus cup in this painting was likely collected by Dutch East India Company merchants from the Indian archipelago. They were then often exported to Asia to be stripped and etched before being sold on to Europe and gilded. Since citrus trees did not grow easily in the Low Countries, many lemons were imported from Dutch Brazil, where enslaved African people worked on citrus plantations. The silver may have come from Spanish America, where exploitative labour systems such as the Mita in Bolivia forced indigenous Incans and enslaved African people to work silver mines in brutal conditions. Back in the Netherlands, these objects were collected by the elite and proudly displayed in still lifes to immortalise the Dutch Republic's global power, obscuring the darker histories of colonialism taking place beyond the frame. Maria Tassart lived in Antwerp, where the Dutch East India Company imported hordes of silk from India, a material that makes a subtle appearance through the ribbons in this work. Fruits such as the peaches, nectarines and plums, which most likely originated in China before spreading westward, were grown in hothouses in the gardens of the nobility around Antwerp, and also cultivated by settlers in the New World. As with the Heem's work, this painting formed part of an entangled web of trade, collecting practices and representation, and articulated the prosperity and abundance of the Dutch Republic. In the early 20th century, Germany bought into the imperial land grab for Africa, and many artists became interested in primitivism, a contemporary term now considered derogatory. The stall in this work came from the grasslands of Cameroon, then a German colony. Pechstein, who was disillusioned by industrial Berlin and drawn to the idea of a foreign utopia, may have seen this stall at Dresden's Ethnographic Museum or displayed in the home of his art dealer, Wolfgang Görlitz. This painting evidences a Netherlandish legacy of collecting and displaying foreign objects and still lifes and presents a problematic and continued endorsement of colonial ownership over these objects and places. In the 1930s, Léger was living in industrial Paris, where luxury products from America streamed into department stores and factories produced a never-ending array of new consumer goods. This abstract industrial still life shows the machine aesthetic of the city, with the facade of a tower block apartment and the metal girder of scaffolding. By the 1930s, it was becoming increasingly clear that capitalist freedom was founded upon harsh factory work, and the Great Depression had descended upon the working classes. Against this industrial backdrop, the organic fruits and worms seemed to suggest the transience of organic form. As a socialist who critiqued capitalism, perhaps Léger was provoking a cautionary message about the materialism of his age. Together, these artworks shed light on the links between political formation and material exchange over time, and knowingly or not touch upon a spectrum of consequences caused by global capitalism. In today's world of interlinked geopolitical networks, such artworks can push us to consider the complexity of where things come from, and ultimately question the cost of their extraction, production, and circulation in an ever-growing consumer economy.